Hi everyone and welcome back to the February monthly WARNO tournament from SD League. Today we are watching Tmanplays over on the left in red, playing as the 39th, I think that is. Yes indeed. And then over on the right in blue, we have Blitz-War, who is also a YouTuber, and his link will be down below, playing as the 82nd Airborne. Obviously 82nd Airborne with those forward deployment troops will reach Alpha and Delta first. There is also a Phantom out very early on for Blitz-War, ready to take on any choppers. There's an SU-25 rocket coming in now. I assume the Phantom will go for that. T-Man is being careful with that. I think there's two commands in as it stands. Is there two commands in for T-Man? There is one hidden behind that unit. Okay, fine. I was going to say I couldn't see it, but it's well hidden behind the OSA. Just one in at the moment for Blitz-War. Command straight in this back corner here. Risky business because it's very close to those military police, but will be out of range in that back corner. MiG-23 anti-air came in and took out the Phantom. Phantom had swung quite far over that way. But Blitz-War in a good forward position here, obviously utilising those forward troops well. Can see out into this area. Unfortunately, not covering this forest area at the moment. Rocket coming in to take out the chopper. There's a Stinger there, but it's not out yet, and two Avengers have been called in. Command going into Delta to neutralise. Are we seeing another command coming in? No, more airborne, some engineers, and those Avengers. Top is neutralised now, back to +2 for T-Man. He was +4. Military police will be used to good effect at long range here. Let's have a little look at the range on those. Unfortunately, not in range to hit the BMP-3. They are well out of range of that, hitting that. They can take out the motor Strelky as they come in. These ones pushing around as well. Oh! Obviously, those guys were visible to something on the ground. It looks like these guys, that it's going to be a period where I think T-Man is going to retake this town. Not a huge amount of units there, but certainly enough to push in, and good use of that rocket attack jet to take out the infantry as well. That has proven very effective. Is taking fire from the Stinger now, but will get out intact. Neither player with much movement up here, but I think just in terms of range and amount of units, T-Man just has the edge, especially with the help of that jet taking out some of the bigger squads. Obviously, one military police already down and one LRS already down. Plenty of reinforcements arriving though, and those airborne engineers could make all the difference. The airborne engineers obviously with their satchel charges. There's another SU-25 rocket coming in, though. Is this going for this? No, it's going for stuff coming in on the road. Absolutely devastating. Has been lost to the A-10 rocket, though. MiG-23 coming in for the A-10. A-10 taking a lot of fire. Avengers opening up on that MiG-23. MiG-23 is evacing. A-10 will get out alive as well. T-Man in a better position here, has managed to take out the other LRS that were there. One squad of engineers badly damaged, the other is already dead. That rocket attack jet just made all the difference there. Airborne Dragons are coming in. They can lay down a lot of firepower, but will it be enough to see off all of these units and the BMP-3 and the support units? Mortar coming in there, and a command coming in there to try and get in the back at this point, I assume. Some units moving around to this side. Good maneuver by Blitz-War, getting into this side of the point. It is obviously much easier to push in from here than trying to get in this open ground. Aero rifles about to meet these mortar Strelky here. There's also a BTR going to be firing on them. Can the aero rifles... No, they can't. It is out of range of the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is only 675 on the aero rifles, so they can't hit the BTR there. Military police coming in here will be helpful, though, as they might just be in range to hit that BTR. Avenger sat around the back here. Engineers Dragons making a little bit of progress here. Have actually done quite a bit of damage to the Motorstrelky. Have finished the job. Obviously, the engineers still have those satchels. Are out of satchels now, though. Still the Sapri RPO, but they are out of RPOs, which means that technically these guys would be in a better position, but they are taking a lot of machine gun fire from the BTR back there, and the BTR obviously ripping them to shreds. Aero rifles taking a lot of fire from a BMP, an attack chopper, and the BTR. Aero rifles pulling back out the way to try and get away from those fire support units. Stinger is engaging on that chopper. Is missing, unfortunately. Oh, Stinger now getting wrecked by the chopper. Again, Stinger missed, unfortunately, and Stinger is dead. Avenger is coming in, and another rocket. A-10 is coming in to try and deal with that. SU-27S coming in to deal with the A-10 rocket. Oh, the A-10 rocket went for the ground unit. I think this has actually dipped down. Its altitude has changed, and that's why the A-10 couldn't get it. SU-27S will get out intact, but the A-10 will also. More airborne engineers coming in this side, but they are having to cross quite a bit of open ground there, so we'll be taking reasonable amounts of fire from the BTR and the BMP-3 as they come in. Aero rifles have been finished off down here. However, points are neutralized thanks to Blitz-War getting the command in the back here. Apache coming in will be very helpful, though we'll need to be careful because of the air units that T-Man is bringing in. Interestingly, T-Man has a tank just sat at the back there. I don't know if it's just lacking an order. It's certainly not moving. I wonder if that was put down at the start and he just hasn't got round to giving it an order yet. T-80 is coming in at the back there, and that is coming all the way to the front line. Cluster bomber coming in to try and do some damage to... Oh, is it going for a snipe? It's going for a snipe, I think. T-Man is aware of that and is running his command out of the way. Nice move from T-Man. Got out of there just in time. This is where having a dive bomber can be very handy rather than just a carpet bomber like that. The first F-15 we've seen. A little bit stagnated now, as both players, in particular Blitz-War, will need to ramp up some units to get them in the back of this point and push in. Obviously, you can see stuff being called in there. Not really any movement up here. We do have some airborne around the back for Blitz-War. He could go for a snipe on this command. The question is, where is T-Man paying attention? BTR is firing at the airborne. Oh, that's a shame. I think if he had just run the airborne in, he might have managed to kill that. I don't think he has anything else in to do the damage to that. That's a shame. It would have meant sacrificing the airborne, I expect, but he may have got the kill. Whether that's worth it is obviously up for debate, and obviously for Blitz-War to decide. Tank being called in by T-Man now there. Another T-80. That T-62 still sat there. I'm trying to decide now if it's bugged or he has just definitely forgotten about it. Eagle in on station. We'll be taking fire from the OSA. Oh, and the OSA got a hit as well. That is unlucky because the Eagle is very good at dodging stuff. SU-27S and a MiG-23 in firing long-range missiles at that Eagle. Oh, they went for the A-10. Sorry, I tell a lie. They went for the A-10 and they killed it. However, the A-10 did get the kill on the command that was there. So the A-10 did its job. Blitz-War will be pleased with that. It is now +2 to Blitz-War. I imagine we're going to see T-Man take the rest of this point, and yes, there we go. T-Man pushing across, getting that command out of there. The command is trying to get out of dodge, but likely will not survive this. Unless Blitz-War is able to smoke its escape. Apache coming up there. Nothing really to hit the Apache at the front. Oh, it got the command though. BMP3 got the command. Apache may or may not get the kill here. Apache is already badly damaged. And it is just an Apache rocket. Should get the kill, surely. It does get the kill. Well, Apache is obviously badly damaged. Lots of reinforcements coming in now for Blitz-War down here. Certainly he'll be able to get them into this tree line and possibly push them across. But quite a lot in there for T-Man. T-Man obviously also has a big tank at the back there. Chopper moved up to the top there for T-Man. Another chopper coming in. Another command coming in, obviously to replace the one that was lost. Some stingers coming in for Blitz-War. Military police with their recoilless rifles here. Able to engage from quite a long range. Will be quite effective against the BMP3 unless the BMP3 manages to single them out and do some serious damage. There we go. Very effective. Really, this military police unit needs to be up there to assist, though. You want to get it hit a couple of times. Hopefully you get stunned in that situation. SU-25 rocket attack coming in again. Just on station at the moment. Is it going for something at the top there? Possibly for the Apache. Definitely for the Apache, surely. Interestingly, no, it's gone for the airborne. Will get a shot off at the Apache as well. Does not kill it. 1 pip of health left on that Apache. Another Apache coming in down here. Quite a good unit spread for T-Man. He's not sort of focused in one area. Does make it harder to assault from one side when you've got a good spread across an entire line. So having these units at this side does really help him. Usually people defend the town but forget about this side, and it means it's easier for the person on Blitz-War's side to push in through this tree line. Eagle coming in, going for that SU. SU dodges. Second hit, third hit. No, no. Oh, and the Eagle is down. That is incredibly unlucky. So many of those missiles missed. And so many missiles hit that F-15. I mean, the F-15 has been quite unlucky, taking quite a few shots. So I'm not surprised it got wiped out there. Sometimes the F-15 seems to dodge everything. And other times you just get really unlucky. It's all about that dice roll. SU-25 AT coming in this side now. I don't know if that's scouting for... Oh no, it's hitting these units at the back. Oh, I don't know how I managed to jump to the back of the map there. That was weird. SU-25 does manage to take out the units there. But is itself killed. Some progress here for Blitz-War with those military police. The MP3 managing to hit the airborne here, though. Sapri RPO taking fire from the military police, I think. Airborne engineers moving up to deal with the Motorstrelki. They will be really, really effective at that. But they have to get up close enough to use a satchel charge. And unfortunately, they've sort of stopped further back. And he's just assaulting from range. If he could get them right up to the units and stand on top of those Motorstrelki, he'd absolutely melt them in a few seconds. He is shifting them now. He's perhaps focused elsewhere. I'm hearing shooting down here as well. The airborne have managed to get into the buildings, taking out these Motorstrelki that are left. There's an airborne down here as well. That is clear now. Now, there's not a lot in this point, in all honesty. There's a lot being called in at the top. I think T-Man is planning to do a push at the top there and take the rest of that point. But in the meantime, I think that Blitz-War has a chance of pushing back into this point. I'm a little bit worried that he's got quite a few units spread around the bottom here. They might be better off pushing into this point as well. Because they're not going to be able to do much at this side because of the BMP3 and the fact that there's open ground. But they can get into these buildings through the forest. More reinforcement being called in now. Sheridan on the way. More military police and stuff coming in. Some of them are going the front way down this road, though, into this forest. I'm worried they're going to get destroyed once these conkers see them, which won't be far off. No, they'll be in range as soon as they get to this point. So one of these sets of units, yeah, this front one, is going to go straight into those conkers. And, in fact, the T-80. Yeah, T-80 is going to have a clear shot on that on the road. That's unfortunate. Oh, it's being peeled off last minute. Well spotted. I think Blitz-War realised the mistake there. Don't forget, because Sapri pushing across here with the satchel charges. If they get close to these buildings, the group in those buildings are in trouble. Stunned. Very, very good. That's what we needed to see. They needed to be stunned. Really good shooting from the military police there. Perfect timing. Should be able to tear apart these guys. They are getting very close, though. Not quite in range to throw those satchel charges, and stunned again. They should die. They're going around the other side of the building. They're going to be out of view. Oh, they're dead. That is very lucky, because they would have made really short work of the two squads in there, because they are small squads, and those satchel charges would have just ripped them apart. More airborne engineers coming in down here now. Airborne commander coming in as well. At the back, we do see another Sheridan coming in, and some more airborne scouts. A couple more Sheridans up here, but they are going to the center. A little bit of movement here. Looks like T-Man is making his move and pushing across the open ground with a lot of infantry right now. Unfortunately, there is bits and pieces here that will help. Certainly the machine guns will help, but they're going to take fire from the BMP3. TOW 2 in a good position, though. Takes out that BMP3. Heavy machine guns absolutely tearing apart the Motostrelki. This heavy machine gun hopefully will do the same. It is being moved up into a better position. Down here at the bottom, we do see some movement from Blitz-War. He may get into this town here. SU-27 and MiG-23 in, taking out that jet. Unfortunately, the Avenger is out of ammo. Command will go back in this point. Currently, it is still +2 to Tmanplays, and he's heading towards that halfway mark on the point. BMP3 dealing out a lot of damage from range to these airborne. This Sheridan will be potentially a great help against that. It's hitting the Motostrelki, but the Sheridan... It's actually, no, I tell a lie. That BMP3 is going to kill that Sheridan. I forgot it's got a missile. They're firing missiles at each other, but the BMP3 has a much better missile. Yeah, the Sheridan had to smoke. It's very lucky that missile didn't hit, because the missile on this thing is really good. 18 pen. Sheridan pushed forward through the smoke. It is very lucky that that didn't hit. Oh! Sheridan only has the Shiliag thing. It's only 16 penetration. Nowhere near as good as the other one. In fact, weirdly, it's actually... The accuracy is the same. Is the range the same on those? No, it's not. The BMP3 outranges it. That is very unlucky for the BMP3. I would have expected that to get a kill, to be honest. I think, unfortunately, in this game, for whatever reason, poor Blitz-War is having a terrible time in the dice rolls. In the meantime, look at what's happening up here. T-Man has pushed across the open ground. Very effectively with all that infantry. Unfortunately, there just wasn't enough there to stop it. Apache rockets have been called in, though. Will be pretty effective at stopping the infantry. But obviously, the OSAs here pushing up the rear will make short work of those Apaches if they can get a hit. And there we go. 1 hit. 2 hits and it's down. But the Apaches did a really good job. HE bomber in down here. Blitz-War has managed to gain some ground, but unfortunately has obviously now lost this top point. T-Man now over the halfway mark in points. Pushing quite aggressively. Quite a lot of units down here for Blitz-War, though. He stands a good chance. Obviously, this BMP3 causing him all kinds of issues. I almost think he would be better off getting that Sheridan closer, but that said, obviously there is a T62 there, which... Actually, that T62 can't really see through this tree line. So that Sheridan would be alright pushing up to hit that BMP3 with his main cannon. Obviously, the BMP3 could then fire back as well. Airborne, again, out here in the open, taking fire from that BMP3. A little bit of an air fight going on up here. Use of that A-10 rocket again, very effectively taking out that tank with its cannon. Has died, unfortunately, to the Osas, but that was a big T-80, so he will be pleased with the kill anyway. SU-25 rocket coming in at the back again. Good use of aircraft for anti-ground duty from both players in this game. I think in terms of air superiority, T-Man has just had the edge. Sheridan firing again. Misses. Those missiles are just so inaccurate. I'm actually wondering if they've changed the accuracy on the BMP3 missile as well, because I thought it used to be more accurate than that. 40% was not what I expected it to say. BMP3 here. Going for the Avenger and misses. I'm surprised that hasn't been spotted, sat at the edge of that point. Fortunately, military police pushing into sort of open territory here and taking a lot of fire from all these support units. Sheridan also taking fire from multiple units now. Sheridan relying on that missile, which isn't ideal. S-25 rocket will come in and finish the job. There it goes. Nice recon Bradley at the back here, though. Will come in very handy. Will pose a serious threat to these tanks. Tank wouldn't need to push up too much to get it with the main cannon, though. But T-Man in firm control at this point now. Not a lot up here for Blitz-War. He's bringing a couple of Abrams in and a couple of Bradleys. That's some expensive units being brought in there. SU-22 HE bomber coming in again. Going for that building, and there it goes. But he has lost the bomber as well. Not sure if it was worth the bomber. Not sure how much threat those units were posing to T-Man at that point. But he is pushing across the map, in fact. I think T-Man is just going for it. Wants to secure this area. Would like to secure this tree line by the looks of it. Obviously still a lot to deal with down here, but there is the surrender. The surrender from Blitz-War. Commiserations, Blitz-War. Well played to both players. And well done, T-Man, for the win. Obviously, a bit of a difference in kills to losses there, which is kind of reflected on the map. So have a look at those kills and losses. Obviously, the SU-25 getting a lot of kills, and again, a reasonable amount. And my 24 got quite a few kills. BMP3 is doing a good job, and that BMP3 at the bottom was doing quite a good job, I think. On the other side, the Avengers got plenty of... Or the Avenger got plenty of kill there. The Apache was doing alright. Not a huge amount of kills from the aircraft there. That cluster, unfortunately, only getting the supply Ural, as T-Man did see it coming and ran his units out of the way. A-10 rocket didn't do too badly. Did manage to kill the T-80, so it did well for itself. Right, let's hop straight into game number 2. Welcome back to game number 2 between Blitz-War and Tmanplays. Blitz-War on the right in blue, playing as the 5th E, and over on the left in red, Tmanplays playing as a KDA. 2 Mirages out early for Blitz-War. Will reach Bravo first, obviously, as starts a bit closer, but T-Man obviously will get into Alpha early, especially with some forward deployable troops there. Lots of recon down for Blitz-War, though, which means that he can get up close and personal pretty quickly, obviously making good use of those very good AMX-10s. Plenty of reinforcements coming in at this point, including a bunch of T-55As. Will be good, spread around the town to fire out over incoming units. Where are these all going? Now that is risky. These guys are going to be coming in here and deploying, but obviously they will be coming up against Spetsnaz almost immediately as they come in there. Command already in this point for T-Man as well. Command in the back point too. Just one command in for Blitz-War, but really that's all he needs. He's also securing the outer edges of this point, which is important. T-Man starting to bring in stuff up at the top, though, with the eventual intent probably to assault Bravo. Mirage managed to go all the way over this side of the map. Just the one there, though. What happened to the other? Oh, no, there it is. I was going to say, what were they up to? Bit of a fight going on here. The Eclairs have managed to get into the point. Are taking plenty of fire from the Spetsnaz and such, though. There are only 4-man squads there. Commandos coming in as well, charging down the road there. Taking plenty of fire from these things. However, the AMX-10 RCs putting plenty of fire down against these machine guns, but not doing a huge amount of damage. Obviously, Spetsnaz moving up from this side as well. These Eclairs are getting absolutely wrecked. T-Man currently +3. HE Bomber coming in will be very effective against these infantry. Potentially, if it can get a good strike. Beautiful strike. Took out 2 nearly full squads there. Is taking fire from the Buck, but it didn't get the kill. I don't think it even landed one of those missiles. AMX-10's quite useful. Unfortunately, are taking a lot of fire from those T-55s that came in. A very good choice by T-Man. T-55's obviously able to kill the AMX-10s. Regardless of whether the AMX-10s can see them first. T-55 has taken damage, though, from that AMX-10. Mistral coming in at this side as well. Not a huge amount of units left here from the assault force from Blitz-War. Took a lot of losses. It is very difficult to push into this point, as ever. Equally, it's quite hard to push into this point to some extent, unless you come down this way. This way makes it a little bit easier, and that's why obviously Blitz-War is defending up here already, because there's obviously that tree line and the trees kind of merge into each other. If you try to come from this side, there's a lot of open ground, and if the defender has units in here and in these buildings, then it's very hard to push through here. But coming around the top, that little bit easier. Down here, one of the easier ways to get in is either across here and into the tree line through this part, or indeed through this tree line and up the side here into the point. There are some defense units, however, down here for Tmanplays, just in case that is attempted. Chasseurs coming in and AMX-10Ps. Now this is a prime map for some sneaky getting a command chopper or command infantry in a chopper around the back of the map and capping that back point. We haven't seen that done in any tournaments, I think, on this map so far, but I'm waiting for it to happen. Maybe I just haven't seen the tournament game with it in yet. AMX coming in there. That's going to be very handy on this map for dislodging units from buildings. Small amount of forces building up here. Some tanks now being called in as well. Recon unit being pushed all the way up here. Lots of infantry being called in as well. Yeah, I mean, T-Man is definitely building up a force to push in there. I'm not sure that Blitz-War will be able to see what's going on with any of these units. They just won't have line of sight, I don't think, on what's going on over here. 2 Mirages in there. One is almost dead, though. Did they actually come in to attack something? I'm not sure. I can't see any wrecks, so I'm not sure they got a kill if they did. So pushing up here, obviously some destroyed buildings at the front now, but certainly good positioning of these things. Good positioning. Jaguar HE Bomber coming in again. Bombing the same area that it bombed before. Unfortunately, doesn't get any kills. Chasseurs pushing in here. AMX-10Ps firing from the back. They do have that autocannon. Have managed to flatten that building. Spetsnaz and Spetsnaz OP here. Pioneer Flams coming in as well. Artillery being used just to hammer these buildings. Chasseurs not bad units. Quite a lot of members in the squad, but the thing is they aren't really anti-infantry. I think he's lost one squad there already. They are under heavy fire. They've got Spetsnaz firing at them with RPOs. The flame launcher, I think, was possibly in range to hit them when they were at the front. I'm not quite sure. But certainly also these machine guns were opening up on them. Unfortunately, he has lost them. As I say, it is a hard one to get into. In some ways, you're almost worth doing what T-Man is doing up here, which is just building up a huge amount of forces over a period of up to 10 minutes, maybe longer in some cases, and then pushing in all at once and trying to overwhelm one side of the defensive sort of force that's there. Jaguar HE in again. Going for nearer the front this time. Yes, oh no, slightly further back. Doesn't get any kills and has been shot down this time. Bucks doing their job. Blitz-War shifting his recon around the back. Some may spot some of these coming in, but unfortunately that might spot the Alpha Clara if they go past there, if Blitz-War's paying attention, but it's not got much line of sight, does it? That's going to be a difficult one. Really, the Eclairs would have been better in this edge of the forest. You see, if they're there, you can't see anything. If you move them into the forest and get them down to this edge, they have a pretty good line of sight on all of this stuff coming in up here. Mirage coming in again, going for that rocket chopper. Gets the kill, but the Bucks kill it. Reasonably good air defense net here with those Bucks. They are out of missiles now, though. However, there is a supply with them, so I take that back. T-Man is ready for that eventuality. These are now engaging, obviously, on the Alpha Claras that are pushing in, but there are a lot more units pushing in, including some more T-55s coming in, and Conkers at the back there. AMX being used to hit the back of this point. I don't know if that... I think that was aimed at the Bucks, but obviously the Bucks have moved. Blitz-War struggling to get back in this point here. Obviously, more defenders arriving as well. T-Man not forgetting about that point while he's thinking about his assault up here. Unfortunately, there is not a lot defending this point, honestly. I mean, T-Man simply overwhelms here. There is a lot of units moving in there. I think at this point, it would actually be feasible for T-Man just to attack move all and plow through this point. Some reinforcements are being called in, though. Blitz-War has realised. But this is such a hard point to get into sometimes. If it's well defended and they've got a good spread of units, and they're able to respond to you pushing in a particular way, it can be really difficult. You have to go in with such a large force that you can either plow through one side or, you know, cause a lot of fire support from multiple angles if you go in through the front. Obviously, tanks sort of spread around here will be helpful. This AMX is badly damaged, though. Some T-55s coming in here. T-Man edging his way closer to this point now. T-Man, to some extent, seemingly ignoring these chateaus here. I think he knows they're there. He's moving up the Pioneer Flams to engage them. But the Vopos are just kind of sat there chilling. Oh, this could be a good use of artillery. The AMX, Alf 1. Might get a kill on some infantry here. It's not being the most accurate right now. If you could land one on those flamers... That landed two on the same spot, basically. Let's stop firing. But good, he's managed to save his units, pull them back, and get them repaired and rearmed. Scramble to call in reinforcements at the top here to stop this lot pushing in. Good use of conkers and things by T-Man, though, to cover his approach. Across this open terrain, stop any tanks being able to fire out in defense. And then obviously any tanks that are at this side will be at the mercy potentially of infantry and their RPGs. No one getting any points currently though. T-Man slightly ahead. With over 28 minutes left to go in this match, this could easily go either way. As long as Blitz-War can hold this top point. And remember, defending is easier than attacking. You will take a lot more losses. Your attrition rates will be much higher if you are the attacking force generally. Defenders usually have the easier time. Oh, that's nasty. Me-27 anti-tank come in there and just wipe that unit out. The recon. Lots of reinforcements being called in down here. Those chasseurs appear to be going back in. Badly damaged. I thought he'd pull them back and repair them. AMX pushing out into the water here. Malaka in now. Hitting the front of this point before he pushes in. Good for softening up the area. Where are these units going? He's pushing some stuff into here to eventually push in this point this way as well. Reinforcements arriving though for Blitz-War. A little bit of movement from T-Man in terms of moving his tanks up. Fortunately, he did lose those chasseurs down here. AMX counter-batterying on that Malaka. And at the moment, doesn't look like T-Man is moving it. Oh, it's on its move now. He might just get out in time before this second one hits. Oh, he took some damage, but he didn't stun it, so it will survive this assault. AMX moving as well. Before the counter-battery from the Malaka, and there it was. That was a good call. Chasseurs at the front here taking a lot of fire. AMX just not quite seeing those tanks, I don't think. I'm not sure what's happening there. I'm surprised they couldn't see one of those T-55s. Tank gun obviously on the AMX-30, not particularly long range. So that's part of the issue, whereas the T-55 does have a proper tank gun with 1925 rather than 850. Supply trucks coming in now as well. MiG-27 AT coming in. What is it going for this time? Possibly for the Brennus? No, it's veering off. Brennus has a full-sized gun. The EBG is obviously anti-infantry, really, hence its short range. It's mainly a big anti-infantry shell. MiG-27 AT taking no damage from those Mirages that came in. A Mirage F1C200 coming in to engage it, though. I'm a little bit worried he's flying right over enemy lines. There aren't many Oh, and it is down. He did get the kill, but he has sacrificed his Mirage as well. Jaguar HE bomber coming in defensive bombing mode. Where's it striking? Oh, kind of in the open ground. I thought it was probably going to hit these buildings here, but it seemingly just hit that open area. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything there for it to kill. And it has been lost. And I think possibly the Mirage that came in behind it has also been lost. It's some expensive aircraft losses for Blitz-War at the moment, unfortunately. There's just a lot of air defense in for T-Man. T-Man once again with a lot of units on the field. Is managing to push in slowly here, but with a lot of purpose. Has lost one of his tanks at this side. More reinforcements arriving for Blitz-War. Obviously a little bit stagnated at the bottom here I think what we'll be seeing is sooner or later T-Man forcing a command into the back of this point. And there it is. Speak of the devil. Spetsnaz commander coming in. We'll just sneak in the back there, which will allow him to get +3. Good use of tanks of fire support outside the town here by T-Man. Brenner's here. We'll get some shots off at these units. And this one. A little bit worried about that. It's not being repaired. Don't think it's in range of that for some reason. I mean, anything that comes to the edge of this town for Blitz-War is going to take a lot of support fire from all of these tanks that are dotted around. There's the command coming in now. Very good spread. Sort of an encircling motion going on here by T-Man. Another MiG-27 AT in. Going for that VAB up there. Gets the kill. And there we go. This has now been neutralized. +3 to T-Man. Just under 23 minutes left of this game. I feel as though poor Blitz-War is struggling a little bit now. T-Man is just a little bit more methodical about his pushing that he's doing up here. T-Man obviously a veteran of the tournaments, the monthly tournaments that we've had over the last year. Doing a very good job with the KDA in this match. More reinforcements arriving. Plenty coming in for Blitz-War. But unfortunately, giving up half of this point does mean T-Man is going to rack up those points fairly quickly. And T-Man obviously just not interested in moving down here at the moment. Quite happy to just sit and wait. Is bringing in now reinforcements in the form of tanks just to help cover this point in case there is any kind of pushback. Feeling quite confident then that he can hold this position without spending all of his points on it. Though lots more infantry are on the way in. Command just sat at the back in the centre there. That artillery now just bringing down all of those buildings, making it more and more difficult for Blitz-War to protect his units in them. Commandos engaging on the Spetsnaz commander and also on the tanks. They have that longer range LRAC F1, the full 850 meters on that compared to some anti-tank missiles which are only 675. Unfortunately, they are getting absolutely minced by all those tanks. 27 AT coming in, taking out one of those tanks. T-62's coming in to assist now. Mirage coming in, flying over all those air defenses again, and it is down. Unfortunately, Blitz-War losing a lot of aircraft, as I say, this game. Just a wall of cheapish tanks here. Obviously the T-62M1, not the cheapest, but pretty cheap. And the AMX-30, a little bit more expensive, but just the sheer number of tanks that T-Man is able to roll in here obviously is winning the fight in terms of tanks. HE Bomber is in and probably going back out there for T-Man as well. Lots more reinforcements being called in down here for Blitz-War, possibly hoping he can do some kind of push. But admittedly, I think T-Man's going to be ready for it. He's got a lot of tanks sort of sat at the back waiting now. Unfortunately, Blitz-War has lost his command in Bravo. It is now +6 to T-Man. We'll be racking up those points even faster. Just over 19 minutes left of this game. Unfortunately, Blitz-War needs to retake something. He either needs to retake Bravo, which I think will be difficult for the amount of stuff that's there, or he needs to take this point down at the bottom, and I think equally Alpha is going to be a really hard point to get into now. I think he can easily get to this edge of it, but there's going to be a hell of a fight over the center of this town. And obviously all these tanks potentially be rolled up to fire into the town. And these have been spotted immediately. Artillery coming in on them. What has he spotted those with? Possibly the Motsuchin there. They can see through that way. And the machine gunners can see all that way. T-55's being pushed up to assist. Obviously, AMX 30s. What did they fire at there? They're firing at the tanks, but seemingly missed all their shots. Are they that bad on the move? Only a 10% in motion, I guess. Taking plenty of fire from the T-55s now. Tracers and Commandos pushing in quite well here. HE bomber coming in though. Has dropped its bombs on these guys. Oh, and that is devastating. That's every single infantry squad that was pushing in at that point. From one bombing run. Another bomber coming in as well. That one's not even dropped its bombs, I don't think. It's veering off. Oh, that's devastating for poor Blitz-War. That was just a massacre of those infantry. Very nice bombing run by T-Man, though. Command back in this top corner for Blitz-War. So has pushed it back down to +3. But this assault now taking fire from all these tanks. The T-62 is being pushed up as well. And artillery also coming down on that area. I'm waiting for this MiG to turn around and come in and bomb something as well. Has managed to kill the T-55s there. But the T-62 obviously will cause issues. Gets one kill. T-62 almost dead as well, though. T-62 is down. HE bomber coming in. Attacking ground. Oh. Tried to change targets last second, I think, and it didn't drop. Alf Clara managed to kill that, though. Some progress being made. Plenty of units being killed by Blitz-War here, but unfortunately, I think he's called it. Blitz-War once again surrenders. Commiserations, Blitz-War. Hard fought. It is really difficult to get back into those points when you are not in them. Really well played to T-Man. Obviously, a significant kills to losses difference there. T-Man just very methodical about his pushes there, and obviously making great use of aircraft, and his air defense net was absolutely devastating. Let's have a quick look. Spetsnaz doing a good job early game. Bucks getting a few kills. Obviously some expensive aircraft losses during that game. Again, Osa's getting plenty of kills down here. Interestingly, the machine gun doing a really good job there. The MiG-27 got quite a few kills before it was taken out. The other MiG-27 HE bomber obviously getting all those kills when it came in, and at some point managed to kill that Mirage. I didn't even think I saw that. I thought the ground units took that out, unless it was the second one I missed. But yeah, took out all those infantry that were pushing in at the end there. On the other side, AMX-10RC doing well, unsurprisingly. Those things are devastating. Brennis doing an okay job. Commando's doing alright as well. But that is those two games. Commiserations, Blitz-War. Congratulations to T-Man. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all soon for some more WARNO.